Hello, my lovelies. I'm Jenny O, the author with no last name, and today I want to talk about Amazon, KDP, the indie pulp publishing culture, and hungry genres. So back in 2020, when I first started this channel, I did a long form video on the state of indie publishing. And today I kind of want to revisit the topic of that video because people don't go watch videos from 3 years ago. But it's still an important thing we need to discuss because there is a lot of misconceptions I feel still about the indie publishing industry, especially if you're working through Amazon KDP. So you're going to see videos out there about how to make passive income or why 99% books aren't successful, or a lot of just various, sometimes optimistic, sometimes pessimistic type of videos about the indie publishing industry. We're not really an industry because we're not that organized, but the indie distribution of books. And everybody says that you have to use Amazon, and everybody's right, because 91% of people use Amazon Kindle readers for their ebook reader, even if they're going through Libby or Overdrive or Kobo or whatever library app they're using. Most of them are using the Kindle ebook readers. So if you are an indie author and you want to feel in any way successful or even have a chance or an inkling of success, you have to be using Amazon one way or the other. It doesn't matter if you're using Smashwords or Draft2Digital to distribute your books. You're going to end up on Amazon because that's where 99% of the ebook people hang out. That's where your market is. And that's where our first problem comes in, is that everybody is on Amazon. And Amazon is absolutely awful. And I'm not saying as a company they're awful, okay? That's true too. But I'm saying that as a site to sell things like books, they're not set up for it, okay? And then you have the people who are using Amazon, KDP, or Smashwords, or Draft2Digital to publish on Amazon, okay? Here's my caveat. Whenever I do videos like this, I am not here to be optimistic Olivia. I'm also not here to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm here to give you the most realistic view of what is going on that I can do as somebody who has been doing this and watching this since 2017. Okay, yes, I got into it a little late. I mean, I did get in before they started doing the paperbacks. That's why I have paperbacks in my books. But, I didn't start using Amazon KDP in 2009, like a lot of people did. And that could be part of the problem. So, when you're running around and seeing all this advice, and you're going to be seeing a lot of advice, make your first book free, do this, do that. A lot of times I sit there and I go, what does your profit loss statement look like? Are you doing a profit loss statement, and are you even doing it correctly? But a lot of people, you're going to be getting a lot of different views about what it means to be successful. And, how do you be successful on Amazon? Now, most people view being successful as making money. I'm going to tell you right now, unless you play the system in a certain way, you are not going to be making money putting books up on Amazon. Because Amazon is the indie pulp publishing distributor of the world. You have a lot of people, a lot of authors or writers who have decided that writing a book is either easy, and they want to do this for their ego, or they see this as a way to make a lot of passive income. So it doesn't matter if they're writing 40,000 word short novels or they're creating thousands of sketchbooks and coloring books. They are flooding Amazon with product. Okay. And so Amazon is only set up to show the most top 2,000 of whatever you're putting in, whether it's least to high, um, most popular to least popular, least to high being cheap, free to highest price for a book, popular to most popular, whatever type of drop-down menu you're using, it only is going to show you the top 2,000 entries. And among those entries, you're going to find 6 sponsored ads on every single page. Ads people have paid for. Because Amazon is not making money off of people putting their books on their distributing site. They're making money selling ads to the authors putting books on their distributing site. Okay? So in order to keep up with the, being in the top 2,000 all the time, so people see your name over and over and over, because it will take them 7 to 10 times of seeing your name to actually click on something you've written, people are going to the pulp production method. Okay, so what is the pulp production method? Do you know what a pulp book is? Okay, the pulp novels actually started coming around in around the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Before that, they were called penny dreadfuls. And before that, you got all your stories out of the newspaper. But in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, publishers decided that in order to make money really fast, they would create what they called dime store novels or pulp novels. So these were books that were short, I'm going to say 50 to 80,000 words a piece. They were usually something in some sort of genre fiction, noir, mysteries, crazy science fiction. Flash Gordon was considered pulp fiction. Bodice Ripper romances, things like that. They were given really lurid, colorful covers, and basically the authors were using the romance genre method. They were given an outline, and they had written paragraphs of scenes. They'd pre-written scenes. Okay, so as they were typing to the outline of whatever they were writing, they would take these scenes that they'd already written from previous pulp novel books or whatever, and they would just change the names and the locations and drop the scene into the new book. It was very fast writing. You didn't do a lot of editing, and it was written on, and it was published, not written, sorry, published on very low quality pulp paper and with, flimsy covers, because they were selling them for 5 to 10 cents. And there was a lot of these novels. They just, they were just putting them in like marketplaces for people to buy. And it wasn't supposed to be quality writing, because publishers have known for a very long time that in many cases your average reader doesn't care about quality writing. we as authors might care about quality writing and putting the time and effort in, and agents seem to care about quality writing and putting the time and effort in, and editors care about quality writing. But your average reader is going to go pick up a Lee Childs or Nora Roberts or a C.J. Box or, oh God help us, a James Patterson ghostwriting book, and they're not going to care. They really don't. Okay, so this pulp fiction was a way for them to get money out of bored housewives and, you know, elderly people on the cheap. And it worked. Okay, and then around the, you know, 60s and 70s and even into the 80s, a lot of these genres got more respectable. You know, fantasy became more respectable when Lord of the Rings was published. Asimov and Heinlein and Herbert and even Orson Scott Card to a degree, they made science fiction respectable. You know, so Flash Gordon was no longer as popular because people wanted to read Caves of Steel. Or they wanted to read something like Doom. You know, it became less popular in certain genres to put out this pulp type of fiction. And that's the way it went for about, you know, 30, 40 years. And then Amazon came back around. And Amazon runs on algorithms. So they're just looking for what sells the most. They don't care about quality. What they're jacking up in their putting in the lists, moving up the list, is what sells the most in the fastest amount of time, which is why your book can go from being a bestseller for 10 minutes to being absolutely buried in the algorithm within the first 24 hours of publishing it. Okay? So it has to be a lot of sales consistently over time to keep the book on the top of the lists. And so authors have figured out how to take advantage of this. They have turned to pulp publishing. They are either doing what old pulp writers did, and they are, you know, pre-writing scenes and picking those scenes up, and, you know, pre-writing description and picking that description up and putting it into subsequent books, or they're hiring ghost writers out of Brazil, or they're using artificial intelligence. Yes, I had hoped this was not actually happening, but apparently it actually is. A author on Twitter, a young white woman, from the looks of it, and I'm not going to use her name because I don't want people to go and barrage her, has been using artificial intelligence, I don't know which one, to help with her books since 2021. And she has come out on Twitter and said this. And if somebody was more petty than I am, they would hunt her books down and report them to Amazon for copyright violations, because she doesn't own the copyright. Amazon has already established that if you use Midjourney AI or a similar AI to create the artwork for your books, you can't sell the books based on that artwork. You don't own it. So it stands to reason that if you use an artificial intelligence program, writing program, to create words for your book, that they're not going to allow you to make money off of that because you don't own the copyright to that either, even if you're working in a public domain setting, which he is. And by the way, you could probably find a whole bunch of better written stuff on Archive of Her Art, so you don't even have to pay for it. Yeah, if you're in like a Jane Austen fandom or a Sherlock Holmes fandom or something like that, if you really love those type of stories, don't bother with going to Amazon and paying for it. Just go to AO3. You're going to find a lot of stuff for free that, you know, is probably not written in under 3 months and might be more historically accurate, and also doesn't use AI because people have standards. So they're using these shortcuts, in a manner of speaking, to produce more books. So when you go to an author's page on Amazon and you see that they have written anywhere from 20 to 25 books over the last 5 years, they are using this pulp production method to write books. And or, alright, I'll confess, I have 4 books written that I haven't published yet. They're all short, so I can't query them. They're like under 50,000 words, and nobody wants books under 50,000 words in the traditional publishing agency, apparently, unless you've already have, you know, a backlog of regular books, I guess. And I am not publishing them because I know about the algorithm. So I want to have 6 or 7 books of each of these series finished, edited, with the covers, everything done, so that I can put them up, you know, have them set for every 3 months for the next 2 or 3 years. Now, there are some authors who do that. Not a lot, but some. So it's, you know, that's me being, I have integrity, and that I don't want to be picking stuff up and dropping them and writing them to outlines and using ghostwriters and stuff. That's just me. You know, if you are okay with killing yourself to publish every 3 months without having a backlog, that's fine. I don't care. But what I'm trying to explain is that this is what's happening. So you're getting this attitude that if you're not selling a lot of books through Amazon, which is no fault of your own, obviously, because there are people doing this, publishing every 3 months, or publishing hundreds of low content, no content books, and the Amazon algorithm does not, search engine does not separate them out, that you're not successful as an author. That you need to find a hungry genre, I'm a little off on it, and use that genre and publish a lot of books in that genre over a short period of time to make money and be successful. And that is why, you know, you're not, if you're like me and you can only publish a book a year or 2 books a year, and the pandemic really got to me, so, you know, despite the fact I have books ready to be published, I'm sitting on them. I am literally sitting on books because I know if I do publish them, they'll just be lost immediately. So there's no point in me publishing them until I have enough that I can publish them over a period of time so people will actually see them. You know, it's because, you know, it's not that you aren't a good author. It's not that you're, you know, it's possibly not because your cover is bad, or you're, you know, you haven't written the best blurb, or you're not using the right keywords, or you're not spending enough on the advertising. Be careful how much you spend on advertising. It's because Amazon has become a pulp publisher where the authors who are putting out consistently or regularly or whatever are doing so, they're putting out quantity over quality in order to, you know, get rich quick or be successful, because they know readers want, or think they want, or enjoy, you know, Lee Child-like thrillers, or C.J. Box-like stuff, or Nora Roberts-like stuff, or, you know, 101 different type of romances, or, you know, knockoffs of urban fantasy, things like, you know, and it's in every genre. Okay, it's in the mysteries, it's in the thrillers, it's in the horrors, it's in the romance, it's in your fantasy, and it's just everywhere. This pulp fiction mentality, not the movie, but the publishing concept, is everywhere on Amazon, and the writers who are using Amazon. And that is what you're going to be going up against if you want to use Amazon as a distribution service. Okay? So if your goal is to sell your books all over the world, go ahead. Use Amazon. But be aware that you are going to be buried almost immediately in the algorithm, and you're not going to be using Amazon potentially to advertise your books because it just costs way too much. You're going to have to use something else to advertise your books. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, something, go on a book blog tour, whatever it is. You're going to be putting time and effort elsewhere, not on Amazon, to be successful. If you are publishing and all you care about is that your friends and family read the book, use a different service. Go use Lulu. Lulu makes really nice books, okay? You won't have, and they do have an option to make your book public so that you know, people can buy it through Lulu because they do have a print-on-demand service. But if you're just buying, you know, you just want to buy 10, 15 books and give them to your friends and family, put a copy in the local library, use Lulu. Don't use Amazon. Because it's just not worth the time and aggravation. And, you know, sure, you can get your author copies and all that, but there's really, like, if you're going to be entering this huge rat race that you didn't even know existed. Like, seriously. So, and Wattpad, by the way, is just as bad, except you have to update, like, weekly or daily. Reddit was bad before Reddit kind of, I don't know what Reddit's happening over at Reddit, but Reddit is not good. So, you know, even when I posted my first book on Royal Road, I got a comment from somebody going, after I finished it up, because it was a serial, not a book. It was a book, not a serial. They were like, oh my god, your epilogue is really weird and out of place. And yeah, it's a book. It's not a serial. It's, you know, not an ongoing serial. It's a book. It has a beginning, a middle, and an ending. And I also got a comment that was like, you should update twice a week. And this is what it's come down to, is they want you to be a churner of content instead of putting out something that you have put time and effort and, you know, a lot of heart into. I personally believe that everybody who wants to write a book can write a book. I am not going to sit here and tell you it's easy. It is not easy to write a book. I wrote fan fiction for a good 10 to 12 years before I even started having an original concept I loved enough that I thought I could play in this for hundreds and thousands of words. And I did. I've got 3 books in it. And I have, like, lists and lists and lists of outlines for more, you know, or concepts for more. And I really want to write them. It's just, you know, I also really want my health to get better. And, you know, so if you want to be independently published, just be aware that Amazon is the pulp book distributor. And that, you know, you are going to be buried instantly by people who are publishing books every 3 months. Or on Wattpad, publishing chapters every single day. Oh my god. Oh, you know, so I'm not saying it would be any easier to get into the traditional publishing industry either. Just be aware of what you're going up against. That Amazon, it's just a, you know, print-on-demand distributor. It's not, and they don't have any quality checks. They're going on the honor system that you own the copyright. They aren't, you know, they aren't really going to help you with your book cover or whatever like that. They have some templates, but not a lot. You know, so think about your goals. Think about what you want. I'm gonna tell you right now that being a, having not publishing every 3 months, I do have my books in the local library. Thank you, local librarian. She is so nice to me. And I'll be participating in a local book festival here shortly towards the end of the month with like 12 other authors that, I have come to accept that, to be successful author to me means I've written the book. Okay, I have written and I have published a book that I am proud of, that I am happy with, that makes me smile. And if other people end up reading this book, that's great. If they buy the books, if they buy more than one of the books, that's wonderful. But, I don't expect any type of promotion except either something I buy myself, like doing a book blog tour, or some sort of grassroots, word of mouth thing that happens. And I don't expect people to be able to find my book on Amazon anywhere unless they're specifically searching for it. And even then, I know sponsored ads are going to come up above what they're actually searching for, above my book. Because Amazon is making money selling ads to authors, I don't see the system changing anytime soon. I don't see their search system for books being updated or upgraded anytime soon, and things like sketchbooks and coloring books being separated out from regular books anytime soon either. So if you're feeling down that you are not successful or you're about to enter it, it's not you. It's Amazon. It's the system. It's Wattpad. It's Royal Road. It's treating authors like content generators. And it's hard to readjust your definitions of success. Find something that makes you feel fulfilled about writing and use that as your marker of success. Because look, if you've written a book and you've edited it, you found a book cover and slapped it on it and published it up on Amazon, that is a success, all in itself. Because you got through Amazon's wonky service, for one. But that is a success, and you should feel proud of yourself. You have written a book. That is not an easy thing to do. Okay? So, take care of yourselves. Bless. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.